Hello and welcome to the Midweek Check-in. It is really good to see you. Thanks for looking in. It's our prayer that you'll be blessed and that you desire to go deeper. The message on Sunday was, don't judge. We all know that this is a central teaching of Christianity. Living a life of being non-judgmental, however, is massive. In my attempt to go deeper with you this week, I'm going to assert that we are all more judgmental than we realise. And yes, I'm at the top of that list. Why do I say that we're not good at realising just how judgmental we are? In Matthew 7, Jesus says, "Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye?" If we ever needed a mental picture of what each of us looks and sounds like when we judge, this is it. I need to remember that when I judge, I have impaired vision. A big old plank in there. When I spot something that I think is wrong in another, chances are the reason I spotted it is that it's in me too. Somehow I choose to ignore it. Verse 5. First take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. Post-lockdown, going deeper is the only sensible way forward, but to help each other in this Matthew 7 way means we work on ourselves first. Like Alcoholics Anonymous, I don't think I can work on judgmentalism in myself until I admit that I have a problem. Going deeper requires that we accept such work is necessary. James 2, if a man enters your church wearing an expensive suit and a street person wearing rags comes in right after him, and you say to the man in the suit, "Sit here, sir, this is the best seat in the house," and either ignore the street person or say, "Better sit here in the back row," haven't you segregated God's children and proved that you are judges who can't be trusted? This is a specific example. The principle is that we don't allow judgment to turn into judgmentalism. Two people are in front of you. You can't escape the fact that one is in a suit and the other wears dirty clothes and is unkempt and smelly. These are the facts. It's what happens next that's interesting. Who are you drawn to? Who do you want to give a wide berth to? Because these are subconscious processes and reactions. They've already happened before we have a chance to monitor or Jesus-ify them. Here's the big jump coming. This is a no-frills message, so we can't always move gently. The jump is this. The reason we're judgmental of others is that we haven't learned to love ourselves. The royal law, as outlined by Jesus in Matthew 22, is love God, love your neighbour as yourself. We think it says love God and love your neighbour, and it does, but we cannot ignore the fact that the sentence appears to be predicated on being able to love myself. I can only love my neighbour to the extent that I love myself. If I don't forgive myself very easily, then I'll be unforgiving toward others. If I carry shame and guilt for any reason, it'll come out in my attitudes. Loving myself is not about bigging myself up, because that inevitably degenerates into comparing myself with others. Christians shy away from self-love because, well, we have to put others first, don't we? Dying to self means that we practice putting Jesus first. So, how are we to love ourselves? We love ourselves by learning to live with ourselves. In the picture of Dorian Gray, writer Oscar Wilde manages to separate actions and consequences. As the character does bad things, his portrait, kept in the attic, gets uglier, but Dorian himself stays young and handsome. In the real world, actions have consequences that we have to live with, although we still try to separate them. We show one face to the world, the "I've got it all together, I'm full of confidence" face, and try to keep our guilt and shame, the things we don't want people to see, locked away. I've said a number of times that we have a shadow side. Paul discusses this in Romans 7. The moment I decide to do good, sin is there to trip me up. I truly delight in God's commands, but it's pretty obvious that not all of me joins in that delight. Parts of me covertly rebel, and just when I least expect it, they take charge. Loving myself is learning to live with myself, warts and all. Only as I learn to love and forgive and accept myself can I hope to do it with others. We then take the loving and forgiving and accepting spirit in ourselves and apply it to others, thus confronting the judgmental impulse. As with all going deeper principles, it's the work of a lifetime. As with all going deeper principles, we have to choose to move from listening to doing. Allow James to get your hackles up. Don't fool yourselves into thinking that you are a listener when you are anything but, letting the word go in one ear and out the other. Act on what you hear. Those who hear and don't act are like those who glance in the mirror, walk away, and 2 minutes later have no idea who they are, what they look like. Or, put a different way, take the chance to click on the link and respond by writing your thoughts down. It's a small thing, but we all need to be part of an accountability structure that has going deeper as an unavoidable first step. Saying "don't judge" and actually working out how to live that way is definitely the domain of the one who wants to go deeper. Here's the verses to ponder. Matthew 7, from the Living Bible. Don't criticize, and then you won't be criticized, for others will treat you as you treat them. And why worry about a speck in the eye of a brother when you have a plank in your own? Should you say, "Friend, let me help you get that speck out of your eye," when you can't even see because of the plank in your own? Hypocrite, first get rid of the plank, then you can see to help your brother. This practical theology, turning words into appropriate action, will change the way we think, change the way we act, and it'll change the face of the church. And if we can be involved in getting people to see Jesus more clearly, it's a win. Thanks for spending time with us. Have a great week. See you on Sunday.
I've done so much wrong.